Okay, dear students, प्यारा भाई बहनीहरू, as I think whatever the things you have to be taught in the very first chapter, that is the fourth chapter, most of the things already I have completed. That's why today I have planned to start the very new chapter, and that is the second chapter, and the chapter's name is pressure. So, yes, I just remember one thing. Today only I got a message. I mean, there is one topic too in the last chapter regarding a person falling with the parachute. Whether it's a free fall or not, it was asked like that. So definitely it's not, because when paratrooper, I mean he is falling with a parachute, and you know the area of the parachute, it's very large, it's very large. I will show you, it's very large area, it's okay, and person is hanging here. So definitely air is working upward, air pressure is working up in the upward direction. So that is checking the motion of this parachute. So that's why when a paratrooper is jumping on the from any plane, okay, with the parachute, then and on the earth surface, so that is not a free fall, because air resistance is working there. But yes, if we go on the surface of the moon, and on the surface of the moon if we try to jump with the parachute, so that we can consider as free fall, because there is no atmosphere on the moon, around the moon. So that's why there on the surface of the moon it's a free fall, but in the case of the earth it's not a free fall. And as because air checks the motion, the downward motion, so that's why the person comes down very slowly and safely. Okay, and I think now it's clear. Okay, now let's begin the new chapter, pressure. Before coming to the topic pressure, I would just ask all of you to do one very simple activities. If you have got pencil nearby like this, you can take, and what I am going to show, you just try to understand. You just hold this pencil, यो पेन्सिललाई यसरी समात्नुस् त तपाईहरुले, यसरी समात्नुस् with the help of your thumb and the index finger. You just hold the pencil and try to press it. That means you are applying force in both the direction. Thumb is applying force towards the index finger is applying force towards your thumb. With the same force, we are applying same force. What you are feeling? Definitely you may feel pain more in your index finger than on your thumb, or if you see your depression, it's more here rather than this. So this is one very simple experiment I have shown you. Similarly, अब अहिले त घर घरमै हाम्रो चाहिँ म्याट्रेसहरु छ वा फोमहरु छ. You take a very thick foam or mattress. Okay, if you stand on the mattress and just see how much depth you can press, or what is the depression. Okay, then you just lie down and then see how much you have pressed, what is the depression. Definitely in the first case, when you are standing, then you will see that you have pressed more, rather than when you are sleeping. Suppose when you are sleeping, you will get very less depression. In this case, when you are standing, on the mattress or very any soft material or on the sand. If sand is there, you can see that also, this observation you can see, then we can make very deep impression on the sand when we are standing. But if we lie down, that depression is very less. Now, I will come to the pressure. Before coming to the pressure, I would introduce one new word, that is thrust. It is actually type of force. So, the question arises, what is the main difference between pressure and thrust, force and thrust. Actually, thrust is nothing but the force, but what is the difference? Very simple. On any surface, suppose force can be applied in any direction, like this, okay. But when the force is applied on the normally on the surface, then in that case it is called thrust. So, thrust is nothing but the force acting on a surface normally. So, thrust is nothing but the force acting on a surface normally in the perpendicular direction. That is the only difference. Is clear? So, what is pressure? Pressure is, I am not going to write the definition, it takes time, you can understand. Pressure is nothing but the thrust per unit area. It means whenever we are applying thrust or whenever we are applying force perpendicular to a surface, okay, whenever a force is applied perpendicular to the surface, that force thrust, that is the thrust, or you can say force acting normally on the surface, acting normally, same thing, per unit area. In unit area, how much thrust is acting, how much force is acting normally in the unit area of the surface. So, that is called pressure. So, pressure simply now we can define, pressure is nothing but the force acting on a surface normally per unit area. Clear? So, pressure equals to thrust upon area or force upon area, same thing. What will be the SI unit? SI unit of pressure, as because thrust is also force and we know that force its SI unit is Newton. So, that is why SI unit of thrust is also Newton, Newton upon area meter square. So, this is the SI unit of pressure, Newton per meter square. We can write like this also, Newton per meter square. The great physicist Pascal's, actually he worked on this pressure, that is why in his honor, so SI unit of pressure is also called as Pascal, and it is written like this, P capital A small p a. So, Newton per meter square, or if we say Pascal, that is same. So, SI unit of pressure is Pascal, we have come to know this. Now, sometimes you are asked, what do you mean by 1 Pascal pressure? Very simple to understand. So, pressure equals to force upon area or thrust upon area. So, when thrust is or force is 1 Newton and the area on which it is acting, that is 1 meter square. So, in this case pressure will come 1 Pascal. So, define Pascal if it comes, or define 1 Pascal pressure, or what do you mean by 1 Pascal pressure? Same answer. 1 Pascal pressure is the pressure created by 1 Newton force acting on an area of 1 meter square. Quite simple. Okay. So, now the example I had shown you, now you will get the answer. The what we did in last time, just a few minutes back, what I had shown you with the pencil. Now look here, the pencil I had shown you, a simple, very simple observation we had done. Look here, here is very pointed, this end, the tip of the pencil. So, the area is very less. Here this side area is more, quite more than this. So, when we were holding like this, we are applying the same force, the force, there was no change in the force, same force, but the pressure created at this end, because area is in denominator, area is less. So, definitely pressure was more. So, more pressure was working here on the index finger. So, that is why we feel more pain also, or more depression it can make here. But at this end, as because the area is more, thrust is same, force is same, but area is more. So, the whole value will be less, that means less pressure. So, less depression, less pain. Clear? In the same way, the another example which I had told you, that also I think you have understood. When we are standing, the area which our these two feet it's covering, on that area only we are acting the force. And what is that force? The weight of our body. So, I am acting force on that area which is less. But when I am lying down, when you are lying down, so it covers more area and the weight is same, your body weight is same, that means force is same. So, either you stand on a mattress or on sand, or you lie down, in both the cases you are applying the same force which is equal to the weight of your body, there is no change in the force, but the area on which this force is working or acting, that is getting changed. In the first case, less area, in the second case, more area. So, that is why more depression, we can go more deep when we are standing rather than when we are lying down. Clear? So, from this definition, from this formula, now what we have understood, that pressure is directly proportional to F if A is constant, and number 2, pressure is inversely proportional to A if F is constant. We have to understand this. P equals to F upon A, it says when we keep A constant, no change, you can very easily you can understand this also. In that case, when A is constant, then P is directly proportional to F. So, as the force increases, pressure also increases. You just, maybe you have got books right now, you take one book and keep on your head and feel the pressure, take another book, that also you put here. That means, when you are putting two books on your head, what you are doing, you are increasing the force, but the surface area is same where those two books are working, either in the case of first case or after keeping two books. In that case, you will feel more pressure because you are increasing the force. Is clear? Similarly, now second point, when we keep F constant, when the force is constant, then in that case what happens? Pressure is inversely proportional to area. That means, if area is increased, pressure will be decreased. If area is decreased, pressure will be increased. Inversely proportional meaning is that. It is clear? That also very easily you can understand. Suppose you try to with the same force you try to hit, okay, not to very big force like this. I am trying, and like this I am trying. In the second case, I will feel more pressure or more pain, or same force you can, suppose you apply like this, okay. With the same force, if you with the finger only you apply the same force, you will feel more pain, because here the area is less, but I am applying the same force in the less area. So, I feel more pain because pressure becomes high, it increases. So, concept is clear, I think. Now, let us do a very simple numerical by using this formula P equals to F upon A. You can try. The question is, a man weighing 60 kg, a man weighing 60 kg is standing on a wooden plank, is standing on a wooden plank of 1 meter by 0.5 meter area. Find the pressure exerted by the man on the plank, So, your solution, try to understand what are the given things here. A man weighing 60 kg. What is kg? We all know kg is the SI unit of mass. So, it means 60 kg is the mass of the person 60 kg. The man is standing, the mass of the man is 60 kg. Okay? Please do not get confused, not weight, I am telling, mass 60 kg. On a plank, and this plane is rectangular, its length is 1 meter, breadth is 0.5 meter. So, very easily we can calculate the area of the plank, 1 meter by 0.5 meter, okay. It will be your 0.5 meter square. This is the area. You have been asked pressure. So, what is the pressure? Pressure equals to force upon area. Now, the question arises, what is force here? The force is due to the weight of the person's body. So, that means force is nothing but the weight of the person, weight W upon area. Now, what is weight? In our last class we have come to know weight is nothing but the product of mass and G, acceleration due to gravity. So, W equals to m into G upon A. What is mass given here? Yeah, 60 kg, kg is the SI unit, no problem, 60, and G value we know 9.8. If you wish you can take 10 also, approximately you have to write at last. Anyway, 10 if you take, no problem. And area, how much it has come? 0.5. So, this is your 600 upon 0.5. So, it will, if you calculate this, 5 upon 10, 10 will go up, 5 here, it will come 600 into 2, that is equals to 1200. This is the pressure, SI unit we know Pascal, you can write here approximately. So, it may vary due to the value of G. If a student takes 9.8, it will come something else, little bit lesser than this, less than this. So, no problem, clear, but you have to be very much careful. 60 kg is the mass, so you have to convert it into the weight, that weight will be the force. Okay? Okay. Actually, we have to know more about liquid pressure. Liquid pressure in this chapter. We have to deal with more about liquid pressure. So, we have to understand this. There is one word I would like to introduce that word. That word is fluid. So, what is the meaning of fluid? Anything which flows, that is a fluid. Okay? Anything which flows, that is a fluid. First thing, which can flow. Another thing which we know about fluid, that fluid they do not have any definite shape, they simply take the shape of the container in which it is kept. So, either liquid, any fluid. Okay. So, what we have come to know that it does not have definite shape, rather it takes the shape of the container. Now, fluid are of two types, liquid and gas. Okay. Solids, whenever you talk about solid, you will see any solid, if you will see, you will get a shape, but if you talk about liquid or gas, they do not have any shape. If you keep suppose water, the very common liquid I am talking about, water, if you take in a glass, it will take the shape of the glass. Okay. If you take in a bowl, it will take the shape of the bowl. If you will take water in a beaker, it will take the shape of the beaker. So, it takes the shape of the container. What is the basic difference between liquid and the gas? The basic difference is liquid is nearly, or you can say nearly incompressible, but gas is compressible. Liquid is incompressible, it cannot be compressed, but gas can be compressed. If you take a balloon, and in that balloon if you insert gas, so if it has got a suppose some shape, but if you try, you can compress it easily. Okay. Its density increases, volume decreases here. Okay. But if that balloon is completely filled with water, once completely filled, now you cannot compress. It's clear now, the term fluid is clear. So, liquid and gas together is called actually fluid. Okay. Now, let us go to the point liquid pressure. Now, we are going to calculate. Suppose this is a container, okay, and its area of base is A, and up to the height h, suppose up to this height, up to this is the free surface of water level, up to height h there is water. Now, how much will be the liquid pressure, that we have to calculate. Okay. So, the basic concept of pressure, from there we have to start. So, what is pressure? We know force or thrust of area, thrust upon area, or force upon area, force acting normally. So, we are going to find out how much pressure is acting here at the bottom of this container. We are going to find out that. Okay. Due to this liquid in this container, how much pressure is exerted or being created on its bottom. So, force, the concept is same. What is force here? What is force here? Nothing but the weight of the liquid, weight of the liquid, weight of the liquid upon area. Now, what is the base area? Already I have told you, I have written here A. So, A. Now, what is the weight of the liquid? Again same thing, weight is m into g. So, mass of liquid, mass of the liquid into acceleration due to gravity g upon A. Now, we have to find out how much mass is here, how much mass is here. So, this also you know, density equals to mass per unit volume, that means mass equals to volume into density. Clear? Suppose the density of this liquid is small d, then mass of the liquid will be volume, volume of the liquid, this is the volume, into density of the liquid d into g upon A. From here I am going to write here, because this also one complaint, that what I write down it doesn't visualize, or it is not visible due to so I do not have to say everything anyway. So, volume of the liquid will be how much? Now, look here. So, we have to see this much is liquid. So, we know volume will be always area of base into height. So, volume of the liquid will be nothing but the area of base A, into height of the liquid column. This is h into d into g upon A. A cancels out. Now, P comes h into d into g. So, pressure, liquid pressure comes always h d g, where h is the depth you can say, or height of the liquid column you can say, d is the density of the liquid, and g is the acceleration due to gravity at that place. So, for a particular liquid, if you are talking about water, that for water, wherever you go for water, d is same, d is constant, d is constant for the particular liquid. If water, then water's density is same wherever you go. If it is oil, kerosene or any other liquid, so that will remain same for that particular liquid. So, for a particular liquid, density is constant and g we know constant. So, these two are constant. So, what we are getting here, P is always proportional to h. It is so pressure applied by liquid is always directly proportional to the depth of the liquid, or you can say height of the liquid column. Okay, it is clear. You might have very simple observation you have seen, that if you are living in a 3-4 storied building, okay, then on the ground floor water is coming with a greater pressure, okay, rather than upper floors. Because suppose your tank is here, if your water tank is here, and from here water is being supplied, okay, and first floor, second floor, sorry, this is your ground floor, first floor, second floor, third floor, like that. From here through the taps, this is on your ground floor, this tap is on your first floor, this tap is on your second floor. So ground floor, first floor, second floor. Now for ground floor, what happens? Depth of the, suppose water is at this level, okay, up to here water, then ground floor gets this much H, whereas first floor gets this much only, second floor gets this much only. So as because the value of H in ground floor is more than the upper floors, okay, that is why the liquid pressure is more on the ground floor. That is why water comes out through the tap with a greater pressure. Is clear? Similarly, we know that deep sea divers, they wear a special suit when they are going deep into the sea, because as this is the sea, suppose this is the sea. So a diver is here, another one is here. So this person A, person B, he is feeling the pressure of only of this much height water, whether this person is feeling of this much height or this much depth. So as the sea divers, they move, they go in deeper and deeper, the liquid pressure keeps on increasing and increasing. So that's why they have to wear very special suit. Okay, clear? And one very simple thing which is always going on in our body, you know, heart is here, okay, I am showing you right side. One thing I would like to share, actually the more portion of my heart is shifted towards the right, not towards the left, okay. So don't get confused, I mean towards the right side of the chest cavity I am putting my hand. Actually more portion of the heart is this side, this in a medical science it's called dextrocardia. Anyway, so heart is in this location and your brain is here, your feet is there. You know what is the distance from heart to your brain and to your feet? To your feet it's greater than to your brain. That's why blood pressure is always more at feet than at brain. That is due to H. It's clear? Bell has gone. So with his very smiling face, I have to say this much only for today. Thank you very much.